Hello and welcome to the latest installment of the Guns and Gear series. I got this gun yesterday from a friend. He only sold it to me for $40 and it is basically brand new. The only problem with the gun was the nozzle on the back of the mag broke. There's no button on this mag, and the tube on the inside for the gas feeder thingy was rattling around inside, but I spent a long time last night fixing that. And it doesn't matter anyway because I have more KWA mags. So I only got this for $40 from my friend, but you can get it from Airsplat or eHobby Asia. On Airsplat right now, the KWA or KSC, it says both on Airsplat, is selling for $189. So that's quite a lot. On eHobby Asia, the KSC model, not the KWA model, the difference will be the trademarks. It'll either say Mil-Spec or the actual Glock trademarks. It's selling for $140 on eHobby Asia. So this isn't the first time there's been a KWA Glock 19 on this channel. The Zodiac has one, but he refuses to let me do a review on it. So this one was only $40. I kind of got this as an investment, and he included this case, which I think is pretty nice. On Airsplat, the specifications say that it has an FPS of 320 with 0.2 gram BBs, or 20 grams, and a range of 70 to 90 feet. The barrel length of 5 inches, and a magazine capacity of 25 rounds. On eHobby Asia, for the KSC, which is basically the same thing, it says it weighs 810 grams. The length of the slide is 174 millimeters. The barrel length is 100 millimeters, but has a little squiggly line in front of it. It says the magazine capacity is 20 rounds plus 1 in the chamber, which I'm not sure why it's different. And it says the FPS is 310. Okay, so this is actually my third Glock. I've had a WeTech G18, which was a piece of shit. And I also have my KWA Glock 26. I also have my KWA Glock 23F, which is in chrome or two-tone. I did this myself. And I also repolished it. So we'll be doing a little comparison of the two guns and compatibility. Okay, so one of the problems is that it doesn't have any sights, my model. But in my opinion, I say that the paint on this gun is in really, really good condition for a used gun. I'd say it's in really good shape. There's a lot of wear on the barrel, but you can't really rack the slide without that happening. And the pistol itself is in really good condition. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It works just fine. And even though the mag is busted, I'm going to get a new valve, Angel Custom High Flow. And for the shooting video, I'm going to use my other magazines. But if you want to see this gun shoot now, there's a full video on the Zodiac's gun. He did a shooting video of it, and it's basically the same thing. It's a really nice gun, and I'm thinking about keeping it, but honestly, I want to sell it. Okay, so going into review mode. This gun should come with an unjamming rod, the pistol itself, and of course normal Glock sights with a U in the back, unlike the 23. And they often fall out, so I recommend you glue them down. To get spare ones on Evite cost like $20 per sight, which is $40. Alright, so all KWA and KSC guns, or Glocks, have compatible magazines. This is one that came with mine. The base plates are a little different than the 23F was. Here's the 23F. All compatible. See, it locks back. And then you have the extended mag, which works just fine, and it racks the slide. So there is footage of the extended mag being used several times because it works better for the Zodiac. Okay, so this gun has a full metal slide and outer barrel. A full metal magazine with a plastic base plate, has nothing on it. This gun is trade free, which honestly looks pretty nice in my opinion. It is all black, and the barrel is a sort of a gunmetal gray color, and it has a really big orange tip on the front. The best way to get this off is to just either paint over it or sand it off, which is what I did on the 23F. You gotta sand it to get it off, but I recommend you do it. It looks real nice without it. The weight of this gun is actually extremely heavy. It's a really heavy gun. It weighs more than my Weed Tech 1911. It's quite hefty. I'm pretty sure this weighs more than the real thing, since the real Glock is meant to be a lightweight weapon in the first place. So I'm going to disassemble it really quick. I'm sure a lot of people know how to disassemble Glocks. This is no different than the real thing. Alright, here's a look at the internals. Everything in this gun is stock right now. I'm thinking that some of the parts in the 23F were actually custom, so that review is going to be a little off. So here's your stock spring, your outer barrel and inner barrel in there, and these have like silver inner barrels. They might be aluminum or steel. There's your nozzle and this screw, which right here. This looks similar to the 23F. I wasn't expecting this, but make sure the screw is nicely tightened. This piece right here is actually made of plastic, which I was wrong about in the last review. The internals at the bottom. Everything is in good shape. I was actually surprised how good this was for a used weapon. Alright, reassembly of the gun is very simple. You put it on there. Alright, so the paint job on this is like a glossy black. It's actually quite nice, the glossy black. The paint job on the barrel, the chamber and the barrel, is sort of a matte gunmetal gray color. Frame is just a black color. It looks a little brighter though, since it's polymer. And that is it in terms of color. The magazine is sort of a gunmetal gray color. The slide is made out of aluminum, so it's slightly, well, it's pretty lightweight, but in my opinion, this is a very heavy gun. It still functions just fine though. The magazine release button was a gunmetal gray, and it's made out of steel, but the color came off. Something interesting I noticed is that on most K2A Glocks, this crack seems to develop right there. Yeah, it's also on the 23F. The exact same crack in the exact same spot. This has nothing to do with performance. The magazine release button is kind of small, and it's very sensitive.